for Wilson. Baseline and a hammer.
Are you kidding me?
For Wilson.
Oh, good move.
Caleb in the court. It's loose to Wilson. Here comes Caleb Wilson. The freshman.
To work together and gel so early in the season.
Oh, Wilson. Miss. Here's Wilson on the run out. Through traffic. Shot clock inside 10. Gets free. Wilson with the slam. Jump shot it rebounded by Evans. He'll lob it. Oh!
He's increased his acceleration here by 8%.
Look at you.
Oh!
Colorado State, who was the starter until a couple of weeks ago, now coming off the bench. Oh, look at that move by Wilson. Very good player, having a big season for the Heels. Wilson drives and hits again.
Bayside swats that one away. Triggers to Wilson on a spin. Waits and
the basketball on the block, now navigating one-on-one and has had success.
And it's stripped away from White. Wilson running the floor.
Fouls couldn't do much about that. He was unable to show much resistance.
Wilson, no resistance.
Caleb Wilson gets an assist off the backboard. Uh-oh,
he strips. Here comes the Thunder. On the drive, slicing in, and Caleb Wilson with a follow slam. Look at Bogobats. Here is Wilson down low. And moves along. Dixon. Bessar tried out the double team. Whoa!
Your feet. He loves 2 and 3 shot fakes at the end of his drive.
Wilson flies in the lane.
He had 18 points and 15 rebounds, a career high in the win against Georgetown.
Wilson. Going to work. What a move. What a play. Here's from Estonia, and here's Caleb Wilson, who is from Evans. Throws down.
Henderson.
Yep. There goes Bogobats.
Oh, good pass.
Wilson up strong, and
Number advantage at the rim, 2-on-1.
Wilson with the right hand. Around Wilson. Up and under. Stripped out of there by Caleb Wilson, and here he goes. Wilson leads the charge. Crosses over into traffic, put it up.
Second year with Duke after a couple of years at Syracuse. Tough shot in the corner, but Wilson with Boozer on him. They know each other well. Again, AAU teammates in the summer of 24 can tend the shot clock. Wilson for 3. Stevenson to Wilson. The pull-up from 7.
Henry Bessar as well, a guy that can stretch out the floor.
Great Kalana coming in at 14. Bessar, yep, it's Wilson. He gets position and lays it in.
Davis's message to his team is simple. Syracuse is...
Bessar going right to Wilson. Look at Kalana, quick strike. He beats everyone with the ball, backs it out. Bessar thought about it. Skip to the wing. Shot fake Bogobats. Dixon. Corner 2, Wilson. Dozen now at 31-19. They've stolen on the backdoor pass. Here's Wilson. Through traffic. Oh, my God. They're trying to get it to Wilson, and here's the catch. Oh, my. Wilson into traffic. Here's Wilson against Kraft. Nice run. They're clearing it for him. Ball away. He's got it. Tech cut it back to 18, and here's the inbounds pass. Wilson the catch. He's got Mustaf to beat, and the dunk. Wilson the catch against Kraft. Fall away. It spins in. It's here in the second half. 3D, because really there's no margin advantage here in the second half.
Oh, don't do Wilson or Bessar in foul trouble because the depth is not great for North Carolina on the front line.
How about this, Corey? Wilson hasn't taken a shot yet against Devin Tillis. Wilson will must before last year, but recommitted to Ryan Odom. And boy, where would they be without Chance Mallory? Wilson. By Wilson on the switch, and Jakari White is the 9th Virginia player to score. And then Wilson. Here's Wilson. Operating against Onyensu.
Scores it by Dallin Hall. Over to Caleb Wilson. Wilson, long steps off the backboard.
They're certainly undersized tonight. Should be the rest of the year. Lost big man Kevin Jai to a knee injury for the season. Rebound deflected to Wilson. Full steam ahead. Caleb Wilson takes on the second chance bucket of the game. Into Wilson. Too late. Three knocked to Wilson. Wilson.
This isn't a very experienced team, but the way that they're putting their execution into play here in the second half shows that they're learning.
Now take away their transition, make this a half-court game as best as possible.
Here is Caleb Wilson on a step back in the game. Oscar Hilte underneath. And challenged by Vesar, blocks the shot, and Carolina comes away with it. Cameron Grant off the bench for Kyle Smith and Stanford. Here is Wilson. Terrific. Held out of that game in just 7 minutes and had only 4 points.
And never fouled out since.
Go to the buck. Kyan Evans turns the corner. The lob. The finish by Wilson. That's what he's out there to do, is help space the floor and shoot.
I mean, he was wide open, and his eyes are facing you and I over here on the side of.
Kyle looked at me and kind of smirked and said, "You'll see why." You'll see. Caleb Wilson. How about that?
Post up.
They get it to him.
Again, they just let him catch too easy.
Wilson.
And that's what's to the rebound quick outlet. Here's Wilson around Calmes. Dixon right back at him. Couldn't finish. Wilson another rebound and dunk.
I don't know if Andy Enfield had a few anxious moments while that one was in the air. But
oh, the other way, trailing by 6. Wilson working on Waters. Hang time. Oh, really high on Jaren Stevenson. We asked him, is there a guy, not named Wilson, who dunks it home and he leads a nation?
Good, the front court has been. The line driver won't fall. Powell coming off the bench. A battle for a rebound and something to date.
Yeah, oftentimes in the NBA, with only 3 seconds on the shot clock, can't
hit it. Bogovats in transition. Can't finish by Mr. Tar Heels back the other way. Powell has numbers. Throws it up to the rim.
Playing in the open floor, they just haven't been able to get enough stops for that to be a consistent thing. Heads up. They're obviously terrific down there in New Orleans.
Wilson to the rim.
ISO. He loves that drop step baseline.
There is turns and fires out.
Stepping up his game. It's the biggest game of the year so far for Ohio State. He's shown up. Like 16 ways this year.
Wilson trying to shake free. Off the window, got it.
He makes tough. There are games circled around the that spin out he loves.
Wow, is that quick?
You can make that play at a slower pace, Carolina. Yep. It is to your advantage. Nice pass. There you go. Just sniff a little bit. Nice footwork. How about that?
It's one of the best in their league. They're long, they're athletic, and they're active.
Wilson. Bogovats saves it, directs a little traffic, and loops it into Wilson. Everybody top 3. Wilson grabs it. And for that miss from Powell.
especially the early part of this second half, really gave them a lift offensively.
Wilson wants 3.
Warriors have a couple of great guards, Malik Mack and Lewis, preseason All-Big East. Caleb Williams, Isaiah Abraham.
Problem with the zone, it opens up opportunities on the offensive glass where North Carolina is so strong.
Over there, Vesar regains possession. Wilson will try to back down Mack with 8 inches of height, and Wilson
figure out who that 4th, 5th guy is going to be. They have pretty much strong production.
Here's Wilson, who's got 13 rebounds for North Carolina, and
he's a kid at 21.
He's a grown man.
Yeah, he is a grown, playing against grown men. Dixon with a smooth feed.
He's big.
Wilson draws a lot of attention.
He gets a third
Blocked by Wilson.
Great play by Wilson defensively there. Took away the driving angle of away.
Wilson to the other end, off the bump, adjusted it.
Post up Wilson, who's been stuck at 10 points for a while.
Bonaventure shooting 38% from three. Wilson ran into Brahovic. Give it Wilson. There, Dixon on the floor for the first time for North Carolina. Feeds Wilson from the elbow. Yep. That's our deep three. From the logo short. Wilson, an offensive rebound. Springy.
Now Stevenson. Wilson. Stevenson for Wilson. Crowd's holding their breath now. Fall away. Yes, sir.
Here in Chapel Hill taking on the Tar Heels, and here comes Caleb Wilson. Jonathan Powell has also come in, number 11 in white. Wilson off the heads of 6 points, 3 rebounds. He comes in averaging 16 points.
Evans, Bogovats, layup. Here in Chapel Hill tonight, both these teams were fighting the doldrums early. Wilson not fighting anything.
And the long three won't go for Kyan Evans. Badunga plays above the rim, and when he sets a ball screen, he gets out of it really quickly with his mobility. Wilson knocks it down. Will he drive or try to back down White? Here he goes. Nice. Evans. Vessar. Turnaround Wilson. Tough. Wilson shakes his man and gets it. Our offense. Turnaround Wilson.
Forces those guys on.
Vessar, the offensive rebound.
Was to Cameron Hunter. Hunter decided to leave and to go to Wisconsin, but Shulman told him, hey, listen.
Tapped out. Here's Wilson leading the break. He's got Trimble with him. Bounce pass and set Trimble.
Wilson couldn't finish. Notre Dame got some great looks. The 6-0 Notre Dame run was snapped as Luka Bogovats. Wilson again bounces it for Bogovats.
Wilson to the corner. Powell. Yes. Look at the North Carolina starting lineup here tonight. Caleb Wilson, a 6'10 freshman, getting it downstairs for the
Starting to, give up those opportunities that hurt them so much on their West Coast trip.
Sar knocks it away. Shot clock at 7. Dixon. Got it.
Came in last night to shoot around here and loosen up a little bit. They were all looking up in the rafters.
Redshirt junior from Estonia. The Tar Heel lineup, of course. Here's Trimble out of the corner.
A little zone now, Western, trying to pull him out of rhythm. Good pass.
Wilson working against Washington. Backdoor lob.
And Wilson trying to direct traffic from the post, pointing to get the basketball to him on the block so he can make a play.
He found Dixon. Wilson. Oh, too hot to handle at first. Vessar.
Out of the game if he tried.
Fractured left forearm in a team workout in November. Wilson. Vessar. How did that?
Monster second half for this Tar Heel team.
Well, Corey getting a breather right now for Stanford. The lob over the top to Henry.
For Juke Harris.
He has to be aggressive to want to stay in this ball game.
Kick to the corner. Young ready.
The other night. As Trimble misses a corner 3, another rebound. Big and big.
Back for Wilson. Lob inside. They saw the catch.
And he averaged 22 a game. Wilson in trouble. Great feed on the cut.
And he gets the ball, and there's a lot of help defensively. But for Vissar and Yugotolo, it's been pretty straight up.
Looking for Wilson, and you can book it. It's going up. Nope. Going to swing it to Trimble for 3. Bang! Still 5 left. North Carolina work to do, but plenty of time. Wilson nearly gave it away. Got it to Stevenson. Denied. It's popped up off the backboard. Wilson gets it back.
Now showing off the passing skills, too.
Proud of what his team did defensively, but very aware of what he would do here as they get the ball to him to start ball guard.
Chauncey closing in on a double-double. Trimble lines up a long one. He got a great look. Wilson, he beat everyone to the ball, and the foul is Basara. Down. Laux couldn't wait. He had to call the timeout, even though he was under 12.
The Tar Heels matched their largest lead, and once again clearing that backside.
And eventually owned a sweater shop in downtown Los Angeles to make sure that her two boys would never be.
Get the ball up the floor faster than anyone in the country.
Makes or misses.
There's the three in the corner. That one goes. Got the shot away with 2 on the clock. And now Caleb Wilson.
Nice run out.
The run out to Stevenson.
Give and go. Wilson to Vasar.
Wilson drew the double. Bogavats right
with 7 first-half turnovers, and that's allowing Kentucky to get out in transition.
Oh, nice coming up the ball.
Not there.
In transition. Good run out for 2.
They get Big Blue Nation to leave happy.
Out of the corner, the long
Has some of that point guard skill ability.
That's the ability to read defense. That's a beautiful play.
In the spin cycle, was looking for somebody to go to the rim. Nobody was there.
Jaron Stevenson came over to get some help.
3-ball Evans. Yes.
First miss from downtown. Wilson attacks the ball. Wide open, JP. Jonathan Powell.
Evans. Nice air catch by Powell. Wilson back for Jonathan Powell's 3. Wilson. Double team coming with Brown. Bessar.
Same thing. Worked out for him. And I assume it'll work out for Peterson. Is being set for Trimble. Kansas is going under. Wilson draws 2. Finds Stevenson. And they've not been able to get the ball inside and not been able to really penetrate this North Carolina defense. And how about another point lead for Carolina? Trying to snap a 5-game losing streak in this series. What a pass.
Nice feed. Henderson helped on the double to force the turnover. He'll take Bogavats, and then Wilson pinned it on the glass.
My goodness.
10 seconds on the shot clock. They match up in man, and they do a really good job.
And Renew with force to the basket. Henderson around Wilson. Up and under, stripped out of it
for a little bit longer to see if it went in. And maybe because of that, got a late start for the rebound. Boozer blocked.
You got a banner. Kaiser's got a banner. Price has got a banner. Here's Mustaf on the drive. Harder.
Who was in this game last year is still on one of these 2 rosters with the openly dressed Hubert Davis.
There's great respect for the 40 years with 10 to shoot. Skip across for Campbell. On the drive, block.
And playing the post, inside and out threat.
Oscar Hilte underneath. And challenged by Vasar. Blocked.
Played 2 home games in the month of January.
Steele with the pick. Jones to penetrate. Again, FSU trying to come back. That's been the theme of the night. Trying to make a comeback. Wiggins. And
Injury. So a bigger role lately for number 43 in black, Luke Davis. He's a native son from nearby Greenville. 10 to shoot. Nope. Riley after the good rip through it.
The man in and out of the 3.
Your guy. Ohio State with numbers.
Nice recovery. Royal, he hit that last one, but this one's blocked.
How about that? He forced anything this early in the game.
4 of 8 on 3-pointers in the first half for North Carolina. 6 of 15.
Exactly. When he is a guy to shoot.
Blocked by Will.
when both of your big guys can facilitate like that and block shots like that. One more, baby.
One more. Blocked.
For NC Central. Got a couple of years at Maryland Eastern Shore, a MEAC rival of NC Central. Harvey denied, and here comes misses. Wilson swaps. Only going to be here for one season, almost certainly. But would you count against him putting his name up in the rafters with the other guys?
I'm going for the hit fake.
Yep.
Jones.
Here's Johnson spinning on Wilson.
Him take a tough shot over him, but he made it yet again.
When Hubert Davis talks about talking to his team
The second half, they've been much more aggressive at both ends of the floor.
Ball from the outside. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I mean, that thing looks smooth. It comes off the hand the right way.
Carolina by a dozen now at 31-19. They've stolen on
6 points. And Thomas goes right into the body of Dixon. Got the ball back. DeRitter stripped by Wilson.
But even the failed attempt becomes a made field goal.
Caleb Wilson gets an assist off the backboard. His fourth.
two. Pippen double team with Wilson and Trimble and turn.
Block out. If you're Stanford, you want to win this basketball game. You get Caleb Wilson misses both free throws, and you don't come up with the.
Ballou. Colvin still scoreless in the ball game. He comes in averaging 13-3. Schwiger with 3 to shoot, and Wilson stole it.
Take away for the Mustangs, trying to add to a 3-point lead, and that's a silly pass right there.
Fantastic athlete. He's done a remarkable job so far on Jordan Riley. 2 of 12. Very uncharacteristic of him.
It made 4 during that stretch, but a late surge has given the Tar Heels an 8-point cushion to start the second half.
Has to continue to handle pressure. Not a good start.
Is everything.
Benini with Woods. Cooper Jackson's back on the floor. He wears 42 with Draper and Pennick for the midshipman of John Perry. Baseline Draper. And that ball got turned over.
Now can you continue to do it?
Lead is 10 again. Woods almost had it poked away. Did.
Council looking inside. Badunga again.
Sit on that right shoulder.
Crowd wanted to walk. White. Final minute of regulation.